dedicated many, many hours, not only their Sunday mornings for the past year, but all of the time that it takes to prepare and communicating with parents and all of the many, many tasks that go into being an effective Sunday school teacher. We honor them this evening. If you would like to follow along in the book, all of the page numbers will be on the screen. I'm not sure exactly what happened with this slide, but we'll fix that next time. It does say page 131, which also is not correct, but you can find Ma Tovu in the book. I believe it's on page 92. You'll correct me if I'm wrong. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Ma Tovu, Ma Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani berov chasdecha, avo vetecha, eshtacha el hechal kodshecha, be'yiratecha, ma tovu, ma tovu. Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. We enter this sanctuary, or whatever sanctuary you are joining us from this evening, whatever sacred space you have created by setting a space aside, setting a time aside to be here as a part of this service, by marking it as a sacred space, by designating it as a sacred space, by lighting candles, by setting out something special to differentiate your sanctuary from the week. We enter this sanctuary to welcome Shabbat. Within these walls, we sit surrounded by numberless generations. Our ancestors built the synagogue as a visible sign of God's presence in their midst. Throughout our long history and our endless wanderings, it has endured, a beacon of truth, love, and justice for all humanity. Its presence guided our ancestors to lives of righteousness, holding up to them a vision of their truest selves. Now we, in our turn, come into this sanctuary to affirm the sacredness of our lives. May we enter this place in peace. May holiness wrap around us as we cross its threshold. Weariness, doubt, the flaws within our human hearts, the harshness of the weak, let these drop away at the door. In the brightness of Shabbat, let peace settle upon us as we lift our hearts in prayer. Now, at this time, we do have a few folks here who can light the candles. Of course, I can always do it myself, but first I would like to offer an invitation to. I'm getting the no from over here. Come on. Why don't the three of you come on up, and you can do it together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'chagit nil shel Shabbat. Amen.
Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding the lights of Shabbat. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma yafeh hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Barchuni l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Seitchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Shalom aleichem, malachei hasharet, malachei elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba. Ma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך ועלה מול על מעל מיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל בחתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. like we're having a connection issue. If you'll give me one moment, we'll see if we can get it back online. Please rise. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla la la la, 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 yalla la la la. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. You may be seated. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך,
והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We continue together in English. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand, and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך בוקע ים לפני משה, ומרים זילי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Grant, eternal God, that we may lie down in peace, and let us rise up to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, O God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת. לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם, ותהי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We rise now once again, and as always, if it's difficult to physically rise, you may remain seated while rising in your heart, as we all direct our hearts toward God, as the Talmud instructs us. All of that's in the Talmud. We direct our hearts toward God, and many of us turn our hearts and our bodies toward Yerushalayim, east, for those of us living here in Texas. We turn east toward Yerushalayim, toward the historic homeland and connection between our people and God. And as we do so, we rise and we join together in prayer and join together in God's presence. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכה חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד חטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמנתך להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש בשמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יחללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. You may be seated. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon, lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Tasim le'olam. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. We continue now in silent prayer and personal meditation. Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imhu imru, amen. Yase shalom, yase shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru, amen. It is with great excitement and gratitude. We've got the cheering section in the back. I love it. That I'm able to welcome everyone to this year's service of blessing the teachers. We are so grateful to our teachers for all that they do. We have, and in fact, we have at least one of our teachers here, Amadeus, who's here in the back, who's with us really every Shabbat, every Shabbat evening, every Shabbat morning, along with Karsten. In fact, the Dutremains might be the only ones here who brought along a teacher and a parent and a student. So you've got all the bases covered. Our teachers work so hard over the course of the year to help our young people to take pride in their Jewish heritage and to learn the history of their culture. They help to shape the next generation into Jewishly confident leaders through the study of liturgy and Hebrew language. They inspire love and uplift our young people and nurture their spirit. I had notes for all of our individual teachers, and now I'm not finding them. And Karsten, one of our, I was able to find it on here. God bless you. You're incredible. Karsten, yet another Dutremain for the win. So without further ado, special thank you to We'll start from the youngest and work our way up. Elizabeth Goldberg, you've got 6 students, all ages 4 to 6. This year, you taught them about holidays, Bible stories, Jewish customs and traditions. When asked, you said your favorite moment of the year was at the end of the year, at the end of a class period. Chaya wanted to sing a song for the class, and she created a new version of Boker Tov, which is the good morning song. All the classmates joined in with new rhythm and singing and dancing along. It was adorable. One of the parents said it's been a crazy year with the kids staying at home and so hard at such a young age. But Sunday school was a wonderful and fun time with our Sunday mornings. The teacher was amazing and made the classes super fun. My 5-year-old didn't mind missing class. Didn't mind that class was online because it was too much fun to miss it anyway. Carla Ramirez is teaching our 2nd grade students this year. She has 4 students, all aged 7 or 8 years old, and she taught all about Jewish values, customs, and traditions, as well as Israeli life. Her favorite moment of the year was when the rabbi, I didn't plant this, when the rabbi came into our class and told us a story about flowers in a bucket, and we all understood that we are good for something. The kids remembered that story for weeks. One of the parents in that class said, "What an amazing teacher, so caring and thoughtful. She was teaching our kids many important values." Amadeus, as I mentioned, is joining with us here in the sanctuary. I know most of you are joining from on Zoom, which is nice because it certainly would be difficult, as we know, with a lot of kids running around and in an enclosed space. It makes it very difficult. So we're glad that you can join us by Zoom. But Amadeus is here in person. He had 5 students, all ages 8 to 10. And he taught from the Bible, from the Torah, Genesis and Exodus, the sort of great stories of the history of our people. I mean, you've got Abraham and Noah. You've got Moses. You know, these are like the moments that were the formative moments of the Jewish people. And one of the best moments of that, well, you know, I taught with you a couple of times, and it was really incredible the way that Amadeus is able to connect these biblical stories, which happened thousands of years ago, to life today and make them relevant and interesting and, dare I say, fun for our students in the class. In 5th and 6th grade, I'm jumping ahead, was Victor Rivera, who taught 5 students, all ages 11 and 12, all about Jewish heroes and their contribution to humanity. Also taught about modern Israel, the culture and distinctive landmarks in both biblical and modern times, and an overview of Jewish culture. All that in 1 year. You know, just a couple of little things. His favorite moment of the year was during Purim, out in the special parking lot Purim gathering that we had, where we were gathered, but we were also distanced, and all of the activities and the quiz that he participated in, and I think he won a couple of questions there. He got some goodies, as did his students. And finally, or not finally, but 7th and 8th grade was both team taught with David Schneiderman and Marco Preu, who had students who were in 7th and 8th grade, obviously. They taught about the Holocaust and the formation of the State of Israel. And I'm guessing it's David who said, in spite of the remote learning, we were able to finish the curriculum and looking forward to having in-person classes come next year. The 7th and 8th grade class, by the way, if you didn't know, also did a wonderful job leading a beautiful service of poetry readings in honor of Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Memorial Day, which they did. If you missed it, it's on television because it was done not just here in the congregation, but for the whole city, with the mayor and with Judge Cortez and all of the city officials who really represented so much, so beautifully represented our community and all that they had learned this year. And finally, last but certainly not least, Claudia Silberman, who, along with myself, taught the high schoolers, that's everyone 9, 10, 11, and 12th grade, including Karsten, who's in the back. Not only is he rescuing me on Friday evenings, he was also a wonderful student in class this year. My favorite moment with these students was the way they came up with such creative ways to lead a brand new type of Passover celebration. We couldn't get together for the Seder, and we know that that's one of the main times of year that we love to get together. And these high school students were able to come up with a fantastic, engaging, and innovative program where we were able to send out different items to students' homes all over the city so that they could, I still have actually use the fly swatter on a regular basis. We got a fly swatter to swat the fly. We got sunglasses with the temple logo on them, and they fold up really tiny. They're very cool. We got little frogs that can hop, and we had coloring activities courtesy of Claudia, our wonderful high school teacher, and all of the students who normally would be in the classrooms as assistant teachers, as student aides, who were able to do a little bit of both this year. We are so proud of all of our students and so proud of all of our teachers. We would like to take a few moments to bless our teachers and to share blessings. First, we will have a blessing from Elizabeth Schneiderman, who's one of our school directors, reading a special blessing for our teachers. That'll be followed by a parent's blessing for all the parents who are here or parents who are watching from home, a blessing that you will offer your teachers. That will be followed by students blessing their teachers, and the very little students can have mom or dad help them with the blessing, help them to say it. And finally, teachers, we ask you to share your blessing with the students. So it has been really wonderful in a challenging year to be able to work with Elizabeth Schneiderman, as well as Sandy Tawil, who is, just as she takes care of kids every Sunday, she takes care of all of our kids. She's with her kids right now, and so she couldn't join us remotely. But Elizabeth, thank you for being here to offer your blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi. Please let me know if you can hear me now. Why are the words of Torah like fire? A fire is built by many logs, and the words of Torah survive only through many minds. For our teachers and their students, and the students of the students, we ask for peace and loving kindness. And for those who study Torah, here and everywhere, may they be blessed with all they need. And let us say, Amen. We ask for peace and loving kindness. And let us say, Amen. The dignity of your students should, should be as precious to you as your own. The dignity of your colleagues should be as precious to you as your reverence for your teacher. The reverence for your teacher should be as great as your reverence for God.
I'm waiting for the thumbs up in the back. I'm sorry? We're not there yet? Okay. This is the first evening that we've incorporated the Zoom into the service. And every single week we're trying new ways of using this technology to bring us together in new and better ways. A huge part of that is thanks to not only Amadeus, but Karsten as well, who does a wonderful job sort of monitoring everything and making sure that everything runs seamlessly. But whenever we're trying a new technology, there's sometimes a bit of a transition. All right, I'm getting the thumbs up that we're now, our sound is back on. So thank you, Elizabeth, for a beautiful reading. And thank you to all of you for coming along with us on this journey and for learning with us. As I was saying to those who were gathered here just a moment ago, this is the first time we're using the technology in this way, and we're very excited that it worked more or less seamlessly. Well done. Thank you. I would at this time ask all of the parents who are either joining us from home or joining us here to please rise so that you can deliver your blessing to your teachers. Can you see that from back there? Okay. I'll read along with you. It has been said that teachers think they're teaching us what they know. They hope they're teaching us what they believe, but all they can ever really teach us is who they are. As a teacher, you shepherd the children in your care. You watch over our children and guide them. You educate and inspire them. You learn alongside them, fortifying this generation and the next with depth of Jewish learning. Your attention and care fosters joy and curiosity in those you teach. Thank you for instilling within our children knowledge, discernment, joy, dignity, honor, confidence, and community, as well as pride in our unique heritage. The Rambam says, every community must appoint school teachers, for the world endures only by the breath of children reciting their teachers' Torah. Now I'll ask parents to be seated and students to rise. Very young students, you might have your parents help you say these words. I'll read them with you as well. Adonai, you generously give us intelligence, teaching, wisdom, and understanding. Grant us knowledge, discernment, and wisdom. Praised are you, God, who graciously grants intelligence. May you be blessed and strengthened as you have blessed and strengthened your student. May you have peace, grace, kindness, mercy, long life, and everything you need. Students, I'll ask you to be seated now. And teachers, I'll ask you to rise and to repeat after me. A blessing over your students. May you see your world in your lifetime. May your eyes sparkle with the light of Torah. May your face shine like the brilliance of the heavens. May you speak words of wisdom. And may the deeds of righteousness you do fill you with joy. May your feet hurry to hear the words of the Ancient One. Who sets the cycles in motion. It is said that this prayer which you have just recited was given by Rabbi Ami's students from one to another. And as this blessing from our ancient tradition is passed forward, you pass this blessing to your students as well. Amen. Teachers, I'm going to ask you to remain standing so that I can share my blessing with you. May the one who has blessed our sages and teachers of every generation bless and guide the teachers of this congregation. Sustain them in their dedication and diligence to our school and its students. May they be ever curious and inspired to learn as well as to teach. And may they inspire their students with the love of Jewish learning throughout their lives. May this congregation always support its teachers so that they can be a light to our community and effective messengers of your Torah. Grant them openness of heart for each and every student who comes their way. Guide us all in sharing with them our appreciation for all that they do, for they are holy vessels in your service and guardians of our future. Baruch atah Adonai hamlamed Torah le'amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who instructs our people in the way of Torah. Amen and amen. You may all be seated. I think we may have lost the slides for a moment. Again, thank you for your patience as we work on making sure that the technology brings us together rather than creates an impediment. Most of the time it does. Once in a while we have these hiccups, but enables us to continue to pray together, and especially at this time to pray for those in our community who are in need of healing. We ask God to watch over all of those around the world who have been impacted by acts of violence, acts of nature, or human accidents. We ask God to watch over all of those who are in need of physical healing, mental healing, or spiritual healing at this time. And in particular, we ask God to be with Tal Hazon, Jacob Hazon, Meir Ben Esther, James Dutremaine, Yolanda Easley, Oscar Garcia, Yosef Ben Matilde, Caleb Ben Yaakov Micha, Victoria Fishman, Tchoni Bat Malka, Alan Fishman, Ilan Ben Tchoni, Devoralea Bat Sipa, Jeff Gabriel, Concha Espino, Mike Ginsberg, Norma Einhorn, Patty Landsman, Neshama Bat Avraham, Judy Franklin, Yudashka Elka, and Andy Guerra, Gabriel Arya Bat Sarah, Ben Sarah. If you are praying for healing at this time for someone that you know, please say their name aloud as I indicate towards you. You may also post their name in the chat or say their name silently in your heart, and God will hear. Please join with me. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May God's healing come swiftly and soon to all those who are in need of healing, as we say together, Amen. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. Avinu Shabashamayim Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light of truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We rise now for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, עמד מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. You may be seated. There are stars up above so far away that we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with the people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. At this time in our community, we especially remember Stuart Klein, who we are in a period of Shiva for. We also remember all of those in our community who have been laid to rest in the past year, including Leon Wernick, Myrna Levine, Charlene Hurst, Sergei Bernier, Eugenio Colon, Norma Rabinovich, Shendel Bat Avram Vefegi, Rodrigo Diaz, John Brown, Dora Goldberg Friedman, Zipporah Bat Avraham, Lionel Getz Labesh Yuda Ben Pinchas, Lenora Nodi Pearson Jentz, Dr. Marco Antonio Treu Riseco, Michelle Bernstein, Juanita Schraber Kaufman, as well as those whose yahrzeits occur this week, including Hunter Tuberville, Bert Popek, Jacobo Silberman, and Lenore Wurzel. If there are any names that you would add to this list, or anyone that you are remembering at this time, I ask you to please rise and say their name aloud. And as a community, if it is your custom to rise, we rise with you. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'chagala uvizman kariv v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach le'alam u'almei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei dekudesha v'richu, le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min shemaya, v'chayim alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom alenu v'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world, to which we say, Amen. We do have some announcements this evening. I will try to keep them short. We do have a responsibility under Jewish law to protect one another. With this in mind, if you're planning to attend services in person, please keep all of the rules and regulations in mind with regard to protecting COVID-19. Those are posted in the email and out front. Tomorrow morning, we will have a Torah study beginning at 9 a.m. over Zoom only, followed by the Saturday morning service at 10:30. That's available by Zoom, Facebook Live, YouTube, or in person here in the sanctuary. All services are followed by an Oneg social on Zoom so that we can spend time as a community. May 10th, this Monday, is our May Lunch and Learn about Shavuot, the forgotten holiday. That'll be a lot of fun. I guarantee you'll learn something that you didn't know before. Honor the graduates. Save the date. That will be May 20th, right here at the temple out front. We're going to do a drive-through honor the graduates like we did last year. That'll be at 6 p.m. Happy birthday to Alan Farb, my pop, on May 2nd. Herschel Silberman, I hope you had a very happy birthday on May 3rd. Marco Treu on May 5th, happy birthday. Maria Guzman on May 5th. Sandy Tawil also on May 5th. Sylvia Deutsch, May 7th, which I think is today. I don't know if you're going to watch this on recording, but I think you're probably out with your family right now. So I hope you're having a wonderful birthday or a wonderful end of your birthday. And Larry Safir, who will be tomorrow morning, May 8th. And also, happy anniversary to Marco and Jenny Treu earlier this week. Mazel tov to Ilanit Tabarovsky on being named Secondary Teacher of the Year for McAllen ISD. That's a very high honor elected from among all of her fellow teachers, by her fellow teachers, as I'm told, selected from her peers as the Teacher of the Year. It could not have happened on a better week that this is Honor Our Teachers, and we get to honor you. Well done, well earned, Ilanit. If you know of any other simchas in the community, please let me or Maria know during the week. Our closing song is Adon Olam. Please join with me. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra leit nasa v'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra v'yacharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora v'hu haya v'hu oveh v'hu yeh betifara v'hu echad ve'en sheni להמשילו להכבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא העוז והמשרה, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום מקרא, בידו אפקיד רוחי, בעת אישן ויעירה, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יירא. Shabbat Shalom to everyone here, everyone out there. Shabbat Shalom to all of our students, our teachers, our parents. We are so happy to honor you with many